Hello! This video is to show you how to assemble this piece in my River Market Sling pattern. If you're following along in the pattern, this is section B. It's called the back lining with zipper pocket. And it's very easy to do. I do all of my zippered pockets in my liners this way. And it's very simple. You notice it's all straight lines. Very easy to put together. This is the River Market Sling pattern. You can find this on my website in PDF or print form, and I also have hardware that is available. So let's get started. At the back of the pattern are templates to show you how to cut out these pieces. This is piece A. You should have one of those. You'll have two pieces of piece B. You'll have one piece C, and then two D pieces, which are mirror images of each other, and then the zipper. The first step is using the two B pieces, and you're going to put one of them right side up. You're going to take your zipper so it's also right side up with the zipper pull on the left side. And you're going to align the top edge of your zipper to the top of piece B. And if your zipper is longer than this piece, you're just going to center it and give a little bit of space on both sides. At this point, I like to pin below the zipper teeth. This is going to make sure that my zipper is in the right place when I put the next piece B on top of it. And then take your other piece B and wrong side up, align it to the top edge just like you did with the previous piece. And now you're going to pin above the zipper teeth. And then remove the other pins from underneath. Now I'm going to go to my sewing machine and sew this top edge. And something that I like to point out in my patterns is that for my patterns, you actually don't need a zipper foot. They're very useful, but because of how I learned how to sew, I did not have a zipper foot. So everything I've ever designed always utilizes a zigzag foot. And luckily, that's good because most people have a zigzag foot, even if you just purchased your machine. Most likely it came with a zigzag foot. So I'm going to show you now what I mean and how you can use your zigzag foot to sew on the zipper. So here I am at my sewing machine, and I have my zigzag presser foot on, or sometimes they're called the general presser foot. And I am going to make sure that the left side of my zigzag presser foot is right up against the right side of my zipper. So the zipper teeth on the right side is going to be right here. Let me bring down the presser foot so you'll see how close it is. The left side of the presser foot is right next to the zipper teeth. And this is going to provide a nice guide as we sew the zipper on. Make sure this left side is always right up against the teeth right there. And then also, you know, if your needle was originally in the center position, just make sure it's always, at this point, you're going to move it all the way to the left. So that's still going to get your stitches very close to the zipper. It's not the same as a zipper foot, but you know, if you don't have one of those, this is a perfectly good option. And this is actually what I typically do. I usually don't use zipper foot. I usually just use my zigzag foot. Here we have our two B pieces sewn to our zipper. They're wrong sides out right now. What I'm going to do now is fold it so that it's right sides out, both sides. And I'm going to go press this really well, and then I'm going to top stitch the top edge. Here are the two B pieces, top stitched at the top, both sides. And the next step is taking your C piece, you have one of those, and you're going to align this piece to the top edge of piece C with the zipper pull right side up and your zipper pull on the right side. So this step is very similar to one you just did. You're just doing it with different pieces. I'm going to pin underneath the zipper teeth. And then you're going to take piece A, the little bitty one. This is going to go on top, wrong side up, align to the top edge, and then pin above the zipper teeth. Okay, and then remove the other pins. So now we're going to sew above the zipper teeth just like we did in the previous step. And again, you can use your zigzag presser foot if you like. You do not need a zipper presser foot. So now this looks very similar to what we did before. We have the stitching above the zipper teeth on the top. This is your piece A, and then on the back is piece C. You'll notice that all of the pieces line up with each other. So the two B pieces and the C piece line up at the bottom, because that is going to become the bottom of your back lining piece. So now we're not going to press both of them up. We're just going to take the A piece and press this upwards, and then I'm going to top stitch this top edge. Piece C is going to be left going downward, aligned with the two B pieces. So now we have piece A, two B pieces, and piece C on the back. And the only thing left to do now is to attach the side pieces, the D pieces, and make sure, so intuitively, I've many times in the past put these on the wrong way. So I would do this. Don't do that. It seems like that should be the way because it's wider at the bottom, but it's not. So in this case, this pattern, it is wider at the top. And so you're going to put them on this way. Make sure it's wider up here. You're going to flip them, make sure they're right sides together. And something I want to point out is that you'll notice right here, it kind of sticks out a little bit on the bottom. These D pieces are correctly measured, hopefully. So when you put these on, align the top edges together up here, because you know this one's correct. This piece may not be correct if you're using a general zigzag foot or you're using a zipper foot. This proportion may change slightly. But what won't change is this piece here. So you want to make this piece your guide and align to the top. Same thing on this side. Right sides together, align to the top. And you'll notice, yes, I have a little bit sticking out here. And that's why it's important to use these as your guide and always push them to the top. So now I'm going to pin it. And that's the other nice thing, that I pointed this out because making a zippered pocket this way is very forgiving, because if you messed up slightly any place, it's really not going to show too much unless it's really drastic. It's always something that you can probably just fix. Okay, so now I've pinned it, but what have I forgotten? Very important, make sure you pull the zipper pull over. Here we go. Okay, you want to make sure this is open, because if you don't, and I've done this plenty of times, maybe you've done this, you will have a non-functioning pocket. The zipper is not functional because you will sew the zipper pull outside of this space, and then it'll just be permanently closed, and that's no fun. So make sure you do that. This is very important. Now I'm going to go to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew this edge, and I'm going to sew this edge, and then I'll come back. Okay, I've sewn each edge, And by the way, you know, everything in the pattern is a 1/4 of an inch seam. So I used my 1/4 inch foot to do this. Now, we're going to trim off the zipper ends, so the excess. Okay. And you can probably guess what's going to happen. We're going to fold these out. We're going to press, and then we're going to top stitch right down these 2 lines here. So we're almost finished here. I just top stitched these 2 edges here. You know, the nice part about doing it this way is that there's a lot of reinforcement. You know, this has been double stitched, this is double stitched, all of these are double stitched, so it's very sturdy and stable. You look at the back here. And I was talking about before how there might be a little extra on the bottom, and that's perfectly fine. What you don't want is for this to be too short, because then you're shortening the entire piece, because remember, these 2 are the correct size. This could be variable depending on how you put your zipper in. So I'm going to trim off this little edge here, just a little bit, and then we will do some basting stitches right at the bottom, really close to the edge, just to make sure that it all stays closed, because we have 3 layers here. We have 2 B pieces and 1 C piece, and we want all of those things to stay closed as we're making the bag. So here's the finished piece. We've done the basting stitch right at the bottom in between the 2 D pieces, just to make sure that this stays closed as we're sewing the bag together. And if you haven't done a zippered pocket like this before, it's actually very nice. I mean, it might have been a little weird at first. I think at some point you were probably doing the steps and you're like, oh, this makes sense now, because it's a bit of a puzzle. But it's very straightforward, lots of straight lines, very easy to do. If you have any questions, you can contact me at banjoflannel.com. My email is banjoflannel.etsy, ETSY, @gmail.com, and I'd be happy to help you. Thanks.